Hello, Mr. Frog. Hello. Hello, Mr. Frog. Hello, Mr. Frog. I was trying to get him to talk. When we were sitting out here talking yesterday, he was talking back. Quiche. I made quiche for lunch, for dinner. It's broccoli and salmon, and it's was yummy. So yummy. I think I'm going to have some for supper. So I used, I think I used 7 eggs. Would have used one more if I'd not cracked it into the compost pot. It's very hot out here. Really bright. Bit of a relief when one of the clouds comes over. I've got a meowing cat next to me who just meows all the time now. I don't know. She came in earlier. We were trying a siesta, and meowed. Comes in, comes through the cat flap, has something to eat, and then meows because she wants to be let out again, even though we're sleeping. So now she's out here. So now she's meowing at me. I'm ignoring her, as you can tell. So yeah, I've used up all the eggs. That we had a lot of eggs. I did the quiche, and I last night Mark had scrambled eggs on toast, and I call it eggy bread. I was brought up calling it eggy bread, but is it called French toast? I had that. It's homemade bread, so the slices are a bit thick, so it was a bit more than perhaps I should have, but whatever. What did I do for dinner? Oh, I made meatballs at lunchtime with the remains of a pasta bake. Meatballs, remains of a pasta bake. Oh, it's the tomato sauce. Canada, it's your day. It's your day to make your votes known. So elbows up, and good luck from me to Mark Carney. I think the polls have been showing him as quite high up in the polls, very high up in the polls. So, croisez les doigts. Yeah. I think Trump's backed off from Canada. I don't know whether Mark Carney's given him a hard time, but I don't hear him referring to anybody. I don't hear him referring to Carney as Governor Carney. I don't hear him talking about, the 50 whatever state. Maybe somebody's had a word with him because Canada is part of the Commonwealth. It's a sovereign state. Maybe the King's had a word with him. So I went to the funeral on telly. I know that I am an atheist, but I do enjoy watching something like that. I watched the Queen's funeral, all of the pomp and circumstance, all of the ceremony, all of the rituals. I find it fascinating. And of course, it being a Catholic ritual, it was absolutely fascinating and long and in Latin, and just incredible. The whole the whole thing was just incredible. And I've forgotten what I was gonna say. Yeah, it's gone right out my head. I think that's the UPS delivery. Don't go away. I remembered now in the interim. Long, and I was thinking of the age of all those cardinals, and that I wouldn't have been able to stay out there for 3 hours or more without using the loo. And I'm thinking, have they all been catheterized? And the heat would have been like this. I mean, it was cloudless, the sky. And of course, it's a lot further south than here. And today here is really hot. So the heat would have been really, really unbearable. So I don't know how they did it. They just got on and did it. So yeah, I enjoyed my morning. I hardly moved from my Mac apart from to go to the loo and have coffee and do all the comfort things I could do that nobody else could do. Of course, Trump made a fool of himself, but then he's doing that all the time, isn't he, really? He fell asleep, apparently. I've seen the photos. He looks like he might be asleep. His mouth's sort of lolling open, but wore a blue suit. Apparently Prince William wore a blue suit. I saw Prince William. I didn't really take that in. Zelensky wore an appropriate clothing for a funeral. Was applauded by the crowds as he came in. Apparently Trump and Melania walked on the carpet that the coffin and the Diaz, or whatever you call it, that the coffin was on. They walked on the carpet, which is holy ground. And I was watching Cory Booker and Kaleem, whose surname I can't remember, on the steps of the Capitol. I think it was the Capitol. They sat all together having a conversation on the steps on a Sunday morning, early Sunday morning, and it went on for hours. And how they sat there for hours on a hard step, I don't know. But I was listening to them and thinking how eloquent they were, how knowledgeable they were, how intelligent they were, and thinking that if Trump were watching, listening, which he wouldn't be, he wouldn't understand what they were talking about, because he really doesn't understand. He doesn't have an IQ or emotional intelligence to be able to understand what they're talking about. It was quite striking for me, and I'm thinking, you know, how he is the president of the USA. I have no idea, because he has no qualifications. He is not qualified for that job. I have sorted out the bank account. Was struggling to get into the new bank account. It's all loads of numbers and things, and I was getting the numbers round wrong. Then I got locked out because I got it wrong. But I managed to do that yesterday, and I'm happier now. It always frustrates me when something like that is hanging over me and I can't deal with it because I'm too tired, or I don't have the wherewithal. But I did yesterday, and I've done it. So I've been into that bank account, started to have a look around to see how that works online, and have been transferring money from our current CCF account into the new account. I obviously need to leave enough in the CCF account to carry on with any virements that are there for the next. I think that the CCF gave a date of the 27th of May and for the transfer, and Epane gave an earlier date, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, it's happening, so I'm really pleased about that. I think that's it, really. It's been quite a gap, hasn't it? Basically because I don't have anything to tell you, and basically because I'm probably playing my game. Definitely playing my game. And it's too hot out here, so that's what I'm going to go and do now. I'm going to play my game. I've had fresh air, I've had sunlight. I went down and, oh, that's it. Mrs. Broody is still Mrs. Broody. I keep picking her up and bringing her out. If I pick her up and bring her out, she quite happily trots off, and I close the coop so she can't get back in. But she keeps going back to the spot where normally they lay eggs, and they're not laying them there now. They're laying them further forward of her. So she's not sitting on anything, but continues to be half broody. So I'm hoping to get on top of that over the next week, but it's not a big deal really at the moment. And I've got somebody that's applied to do the house sitting, who we're going to talk to this week sometime and see how that pans out. Yeah, so apart from that, that's it. And I am now really getting too hot, so I am going in. Thank you for watching. Thanks for all your comments. As usual, thank you. And hope you're all well. Hope you've all got lovely weather. Good luck, Canada, again. Sure it'll be fine. And something about China over the weekend. What was it about China? Anyway, China's got the upper hand. How Trump ever thought that wouldn't happen, I don't know, but China does have the upper hand. I never thought I'd support China, but yeah. Okay, thanks for watching. See you next time.